Heya Cryptozens, it's 10 p.m. Pacific time. The date is October 4th, 2022. Welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter. My name is Nikodemus, and I'll be your host as we take a nightly look at the crypto, NFT, and metaverse space and the industry that surrounds it. And keep in mind, nothing in this show should ever be considered financial advice. Lugano is a city of about 63,000 people in the Italian-speaking part of Switzerland. They're working hard to become a hotspot for crypto adoption, and they've taken yet another step on their road. Because fast food giant McDonald's has started accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment in their restaurants in Lugano. Bitcoin Magazine uploaded a video earlier on October 3rd. It's a 1-minute long video, and first it shows the customer ordering from a touchscreen on the wall. Once her order has been taken by the kiosk, the customer gets a printout. She takes that printout to the counter. At the counter, she hands that printout to the worker. The worker puts in an amount on a handheld computer. The customer gets an option for a tip, then a QR code comes up. The customer scans and pays by scanning the QR code. Now, looking at the video, it appears that you can pay with Tether also. None of this is particularly surprising, as in March of this year, the city announced that Bitcoin, Tether, and the LVGA token would be accepted as legal tender. And so it was that on March 3rd that Lugano signed a Memorandum of Understanding, or an MOU. This MOU was between Lugano and Tether Operations Limited, announcing the launch of something called Plan B. Under Plan B, Tether has created a couple of funds. One is an investment pool for crypto startups. It has about $106 million in that account. The other is about $3 million, and it's there to encourage the adoption by shops and businesses around town. One of the problems that a lot of people have with spending their crypto as currency is the tax issues. Nobody wants to go to McDonald's and buy a Big Mac and then get hit with a taxable event. This is one of the issues that's taken up by the members of Parliament of the EU. On October 4th, the EU Parliament voted in favor of a non-binding resolution, and this resolution was all about taxes, tax evasion, and policy. And one of the things that this resolution did was recommend that regulators in its 27 member states consider simplified tax treatment for crypto users. They also suggest having the national tax administrators use blockchain technology to make tax collection more efficient. So, one of these things was calling on the European Commission to assess whether or not converting crypto to fiat should be a taxable event. And they're saying that it depends on where the transaction took place. They said it was a, quote, more appropriate choice. Now, the resolution also encouraged the member states to incorporate blockchain solutions into their tax collection activities. Quote, blockchain's unique features could offer a new way to automate tax collection, limit corruption, and better identify ownership of tangible and intangible assets, allowing for better taxing mobile payers. Work must be undertaken to identify the best practices of using technology to improve the analytical capacity of tax administrations. Now, changing gears here, going from taxes to hacks, crashes, and crime. The European Securities and Markets Authority, or ESMA, put out a warning on Tuesday. In this paper, they warned that the growing adoption by investors of crypto means future crypto crashes might include TradFi markets. So they offer up analysis of the risks in the market as they see them. This is in preparation for taking on new duties under the European Union's Market in Crypto Assets Regulation Act, or MiCA. They said, quote, due to their volatile growth cycles, and as long as relevant regulatory provisions do not apply, crypto assets entail numerous risks, which may in future become relevant for financial stability. Multiple transmission channels between crypto market and the traditional financial system exist. However, their scale remains limited at this time. And so ESMA's report covers a survey from April of this year. According to this survey, just 90 European investment funds had any direct exposure to crypto. 20 more are indirectly exposed to via derivatives. That's a total of only 110 out of 60,000 funds in the European Union. But they looked to the actions of last year and warned that the situation could expand rapidly. Quote, imagining a scenario in which a large retailer could enable crypto assets as a payment option, or a leading tech company would introduce crypto asset-based peer-to-peer payments, consumer exposure could soar in a short period of time, strengthening the link. ESMA officials are concerned with avoiding the risks from the TradFi worlds, such as price manipulation and mis-selling. But they're all interested in new threats too, manipulating consensus mechanisms, large orders that are meant to distort prices, network congestion, good old-fashioned hacking and theft. According to new rules expected to apply as early as 2024, ESMA would get new powers to decide what needs to be covered in a project's white paper. They'd also be responsible for regulating assets that resemble more conventional financial instruments and also monitoring service providers with more than 15 million customers. As we like to do on this show, let's take a look at the numbers. At the time of writing, the global crypto market cap is $966 billion. That's up 2.72%. The top 5 cryptos by market cap are Bitcoin up 3.7%, Ethereum up 3.01%, Tether, USDC, and Binance Coin up 3.26%. Now, sticking with the theme of government action, as we've covered recently, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission has been busy lately. And as reported a couple of days ago, the CFTC settled charges against the B0X protocol. And we talked about the fact that the CFTC hit the owners of B0X with $250,000 in fines. They went after the founders, Tom Beam and Kyle Kistner, for offering illegal off-exchange trading of digital assets, as well as registration violations and failing to adopt a Know Your Customer program. One of the things that we talked about, which is proving to be controversial for some folks, the CFTC also filed a civil enforcement action against UkiDAO. Now, UkiDAO became the successor to B0X when Bean and Kistner transferred B0X over to UkiDAO. That was done to avoid crackdowns under the gray areas of DeFi, according to the CFTC. They said, quote, by transferring control to a DAO, B0X's founders touted to B0X community members the operations would be enforcement-proof, allowing the UkiDAO to violate the CEA and CFTC regulations with impunity. What I didn't know was going to attract interest was the manner in which UkiDAO was served. In this case, the CFTC served UkiDAO through a website, help bot, and a forum post. So, on Monday, the District Court for the Northern District of California said that it was totally legal. U.S. District Judge William Orrick said that the commission could provide a copy of its summons and complaint through UkiDAO's help chat box, as well as a notice on its online forum. They said the CFTC appropriately served UkiDAO on September 22nd, 2022. What happened was, a CFTC paralegal posted in the documents, including the complaint, on the online forum meant for members to discuss governance. In addition, a CFTC attorney claimed that documents were simultaneously submitted through a help chat box on the DAO's website. And keep in mind, they're going after every single voting member of the DAO. So the rule is that the DAO members have 3 weeks to respond, and that's 3 weeks from the date of service. So that means that if members don't respond by October 13th, the CFTC wins by default. And these are all individuals. So any member of the DAO that hasn't responded within 21 days could lose by default. The CFTC defended their decision on how to serve the DAO, basically saying it's their fault. Quote, by choosing to organize itself as a DAO, the UkiDAO has structured its business in a way that has erected significant obstacles to traditional service of process. And so their argument is that 0 people from the DAO have reached out to them. However, discussions of the lawsuit have been happening in the DAO's Telegram chat. That, in the CFTC's post on the forum, has been viewed 112 times. So they're considering that good enough to prove that the DAO was properly served. Since this filing, DAO members have been considering their options. So far, they've identified 3 possible ways out. One would be to allocate funds from the Treasury to hire lawyers for the DAO members. The second would be to try and drum up support from the DeFi community to financially support their legal fight. And then the third would be to turn the practice of raising funds by selling NFTs. Staying with UkiDAO case here, also on Monday, LexPunk is a collective of lawyers and developers working in the crypto space. They asked to join the UkiDAO case. They filed to be admitted as a friend of the court. In their filing, they said, quote, LexPunk has an interest in this case and can provide the court with important additional information and perspective with respect to the novel facts at issue here. In a case of first impression dealing with the liability for participation in so-called Decentralized Autonomous Organization, or DAO. This action was jointly filed by Stephen Pauly, Samuel Monas, and Alex Gublitsky on Monday. So far, there's no attorney on the docket to defend UkiDAO or any of its members. In the meantime, members of the crypto community continue to criticize the CFTC for going after enforcement actions when the regulations are so murky. It seems unfair to punish someone for breaking the rules when they don't have a clear guide as far as what those rules are. Which makes what the CFTC is doing kind of scary, because if it becomes the practice of the government to start holding any voting member of the DAO individually liable for the DAO's actions, that will have a chilling effect. According to CoinGecko, Bitcoin dominance is at 38.25%, Ethereum 16.28%, USDC, USDT, and Binance Coin at 4.77%. XRP, BUSD, Cardano, Solana, and Dogecoin round out the top 10. Today, Mastercard launched a product called CryptoSecure. This is software designed to help card issuers identify and block transactions that just don't look right. This information comes to us from a CNBC report. This would be similar to technology that Mastercard already has in place for their fiat systems. They're taking that tech and then they're expanding it to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. And so it came to pass that last year, Mastercard did indeed buy a crypto sleuthing company called CipherTrace. This tool uses artificial intelligence algorithms as well as data from public blockchains to assess the risk of crime associated with crypto exchanges connected to their payments network. So CryptoSecure offers a dashboard, and there are these color-coded ratings to represent the different levels of risk of suspicious activity. Predictably, it goes from red, indicating high risk, to green, indicating a low risk. Now keep in mind, CryptoSecure doesn't make any decisions. It's not going to block a transaction from going through just because things look suspect. The decision whether to trust a crypto merchant or not will be in the hands of the card issuers. It's just there to give the user an idea of the risk of suspicious or fraudulent activities by a merchant. Currently, Mastercard has 2,400 exchanges in its network. AJ Bala is Mastercard's president of cyber and intelligence. He said, quote, "The idea is that the kind of trust we provide for digital commerce transactions, we want to be able to provide the same kind of trust to digital asset transactions for customers, banks, and merchants." According to Bala, this helps Mastercard help their partners stay on the right side of the law, that they can, quote, "stay compliant with the complex regulatory landscape." Cryptocurrency-related crime is down 15% this year. Scam revenue is down 65%. That said, I'm not too excited. Look at the market cap now compared to this time last year. It's not so much that scams and crime are down, it's just that the few people who are left are less likely to fall for scams. And of course, crypto activity is down all over due to slumping prices. According to Bala, the company is, quote, focused on providing solutions to the stakeholders for the long term. He said, quote, these are market cycles. They will come and they will go. I think you've got to take the longer view that this is a big marketplace now and evolving and is probably going to be much, much bigger in the future. And we're going to call it there for tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. Take care of yourselves, but take care of each other too. We'll see you tomorrow night.